I decided to be great without anybody's permission, without an apology. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't go do this, but I have to do this. I have to follow my dreams. Mom, I know you want me to go to school to be a doctor, but I want to start this hair salon. Do it without apologies or explanations. Don't explain to somebody why you have that passion burning inside you. It could be your gift, it could be your purpose, and people do not have to. You don't have to explain that to people. And always follow your purpose and your passion. When you follow your purpose and your passion, it will never feel like work. The money and the opportunities will chase you down.
Women Who Own It podcast spotlights women business owners who are pioneers in their field, setting trends, blazing trails, and creating game-changing innovations. Brought to you by WeBank, the largest certifier of women-owned businesses in the U.S. and a leading advocate for women business owners and entrepreneurs. And me, Allison Maslan. I've been a business owner for the last 35 years. I'm the Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book Scale or Fail. So join our bold community of women who built it, grew it, and own it. I'll see you on the show. Welcome to the 4th season of the Women Who Own It podcast, where we're diving into the theme of momentum. This year, we are exploring how our network of women-owned businesses builds and sustains momentum in their practices and operations, from developing successful strategies to overcoming obstacles and leveraging community support. Our guests will share their insights and experiences in driving growth and innovation. So we hope to inspire you with lots of practical tips on how to stay ahead of the curve in this ever-evolving market. And I am Allison Maslan, CEO and founder of Pinnacle Global Network, where we help business owners grow and scale their companies all over the world. So join us as we embark on this exciting journey of learning, discovery, and growth with women who own it. And today we have a superstar guest. Arneisha Sadler is the CEO of Emeniss Call Center. She has over 20 years of call center and customer service experience. That includes contributing to T-Mobile, winning 6 consecutive years for J.D. Power Award for Customer Satisfaction. And in 2017, she and her children, wow, this is quite the story. Seriously, when I read this, in 2017, which is not that long ago, she and her children went to a homeless shelter due to domestic violence, then moved into a hotel where Arneisha found herself praying for a job, and God told her to start her own business. She had $300 to her name, and she used it to start her company, Emeniss. Her work, this is incredible, and I really want to get into this in the show and how she's done this. Her work has earned 2021 Houston Business Journal 40 Under 40 Award and 2021 HBJ Women Who Mean Business Award. She volunteers with the Houston Food Bank and serves on the boards for Harris County Social Services, Hope Haven, and Unicoins to bring awareness and resolutions for homelessness. Her strong dedication to her team and community awarded her 2022 Houston Business Journal Most Admired CEO. Wow, Arneisha, what a story. Welcome to Women Who Own It.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited.
Yeah, we are really thrilled and honored to have you here. Now, you've had years of call center experience. I want to learn about that. And, from your previous employment, and now you're the CEO of your own company for the past several years. And wow, you've had quite the journey to get to this place, going from being homeless to becoming a CEO in a pretty short period of time. Very inspiring.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that leap? Share a little bit of that journey and kind of like, what did you have to go through mentally to make that leap?
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, again, thank you so much for having me. And I'm super, super excited to share my journey with you all. Um, let me introduce myself. She already has, but I'm Arneisha Sadler, the founder and CEO of Emeniss Call Center. And my 20 years from call center experience started when I was about 16. I was a teen mom and I needed a job, and this telemarketing company was hired. Now, I'm dating myself a little bit because we don't really say telemarketing that much. Because sometimes I
Right.
tell the high school, I say, I was a telemarketer. They say, what was that? And I said, oh, don't worry about it. But
I get it.
and yeah, and so I got to this. So it's amazing because when I got there, like I was only 16. I was glad that they even hired me. And when I got on the floor, crossing the floor, everybody said, "Oh my goodness, you're gonna hate this job." And I was like, "Really?" And they said, "Yeah, you're gonna hate this job. People are gonna hang up on you. They're gonna curse you out. You're gonna hate it." I said, "Oh, okay, got it." So, so my
Real
3 month,
motivating. Real motivating, right?
exactly. And so my 3 month evaluation came, and my supervisor said, "Hey, Arneisha, you're doing great. You're meeting your sales and your quota. Would you like to be promoted to team lead?" I said, "Well, no, why would I do that or whatever?" And she said, "Well, it's a great opportunity and you're doing so well. Why would you say no?" And I told her, I said, "Because I hate this job." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "I don't know. They told me I'm supposed to hate the job." She says, "Oh, no, no. If you're team lead, and also you get a $2 raise." I said, "You know what? This is my dream career. I'm staying."
Wow.
So, so that's how my world of call center experience really, really, really started. And just fast forwarding to 2017. So around like 2015, the company that I was working for had been there maybe about 8 years or so, and we were on a pilot program to work remotely. So we were working from home. It was unheard of way before the pandemic. This is in 2015, and so. I started working from home in 2015, and like fast forward in 2017, I had to leave my home and I went to a homeless shelter due to domestic violence. So that meant I basically had to leave my job because my equipment, everything was at my home, and that was my station. And so I really, really was. So from the homeless shelter there, I got the counseling and the resources I needed to just heal and just try to get some stability. And I went to a motel room finally, and I couldn't find a job. I wanted another remote job, but like I said, it was still unheard of to work remotely.
Right.
And I really, really wanted even more so just for safety and security. Of course, the convenience, but initially it wasn't for safety and security. It was like, oh, you get to work from home and be a mom and work and everything. But this time I'm like, yeah, I want it for the safety and security.
Right.
So I couldn't find a job, and my money got lower and lower because I had a little saved money. And I got down to my last $300. And I was like, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I'm online and I'm looking, and this third party company comes and they pop up and it says that they have remote positions. I'm like, yay. So I call them and they said, wait a minute, there's one thing. No, 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 no. We do business to business. I had never heard of business to business. I don't know anything about an LLC, ABC. I don't know any of that, right?
Right.
So they say, no, we only hire other companies like an outsource. And I said, well, okay, well, what do I have to do? Well, you can't do it. You have to have your own company. I say, my own company? I said, well, I just want to work for you. And they said, no, we don't hire employees. We hire companies, but you can start your own company. And I said, how do I do that? They said, oh, you just call your state and get the LLC and all of that stuff. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it right now. So I go online,
Oh my
and
God.
this LLC, Text LLC, is exactly $300. All I have is $300. And I had just told the hotel manager. She knew my story. We're still very good friends to this day, and she knew everything. And so I was supposed to pay for the room the next morning because it's the Woodland Wood Suites, where it's $249 a week, and then plus tax and everything come out about $275. So that was like my last $300. And I had told her, oh, I'm gonna pay it in the morning because I had the money. But then I was like, oh, I need this LLC. And so, I mean, I was really, really, really praying. I was like, God, what do I do? And I went on there and it was $300. And I started to think, and this is the first time I can say that my wisdom and my faith were at war, because it wasn't a matter of fear, because people always say faith over fear, faith over fear. It wasn't fear, it was just common sense. Hey lady, you got these babies, you need to pay for your place. There's no way I could have called anybody and say, do you think I should pay for this LLC or pay for this room again, right? So my faith and my wisdom, common sense as a mother, is at war. Do I pay for the room again, or do I take a leap of faith? What do I do? And so I prayed. I said, Lord, I don't know what to do, but whatever I do, I want to please you. So I prayed, and then this still voice, the Holy Spirit, said, okay, well, I give you wisdom because I'm the God of wisdom, ancient wisdom, but without faith, it's impossible to please me. I was like, ouch, that hurt. I want to please you, but I thought you was going to pick the other one. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I want to please you. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Okay. So I go online and they asked me what I want the name of the company to be. And I'm like, I got to pick a name for a company. And I was like, I don't know. What am I going to name this company? And my 6-year-old daughter, she was sitting right next to me. And I was like, I don't have anybody to help me. And she looked at me. She had just lost her 2 front teeth and everything. So she just looked up. She says, I'm like, ew. Like, she's like, I'll help you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. And so I was like, all right, fine. So I went, and my oldest daughter, she and I, we have the same name. My name is Arneisha. Her name is Dernisha. So our name's incorporated. So I went online and I ended up naming the company Emeniss, because Emma was my 6-year-old daughter and Nisi is my nickname. And my oldest daughter, and I have the same name just about. So that's how I came up with Emeniss Call Center.
Wow.
And I went to type it in and they said the name was available. And I was like, well, duh, I know the name is available because we just made it up right now. I know if anybody got that name, wait a minute, something wrong. I'm suing them because we just made this name up right now. So I went and I paid for the LLC. And the next morning I was like, okay, well, here it goes. So I go up to the front desk and Amanda, she's like, hey, Arneisha, hi. And I had all my stuff with me. She's like, where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm moving out. She says, oh, you found the place? Good. Congratulations. And I said, no, that's not really what happened. She says, well, where are you going? And I said, I'm not sure. She says, but yesterday you said you was going to come in and pay for another week. I said, yeah, but something came up. Now I couldn't tell her that I just got scammed by this company because I thought it was for the company. I didn't know it was a real. I did not want to tell her. I just got scammed by this company telling me to get an LLC. I don't know what that is, but I'm broken. I don't have the $300. So she says, well, Arneisha, let me tell you, if you don't find a place to stay, don't you go back to that shelter and don't sleep in your truck again, anything like that. So you come back here and I'm gonna take care of you. I said, okay, I'm gonna come back. And I'm thinking, I'm not finna embarrass myself. I ain't coming back. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not finna embarrass myself. I'm gonna have to owe that lady and I'm gonna get behind in debt. I'm not coming back. So she said, you make sure you come back. I said, okay. And I'm like, Lord, forgive me for lying. But okay. This is what happens. She goes in the computer and she's getting ready to give me my printout, right? Serious. I mean, it's amazing. It gives me chills every time I talk about it. So she goes there and she says, oh my goodness. I'm like, uh-oh, what'd I do? She says, Arneisha, you have a tax credit. I said, the IRS after me? What do you mean a tax credit? She says, no. In Texas, if you stay, there's a hotel tax credit or you get money back after 30 days because like it's your residence. So you don't pay like the tax occupancy hotel thing. I say, well, what are you saying? What does all that mean? She says, Arneisha, you've been here for a while now, a couple weeks now, and you always just come in and pay, but you've never stopped or gotten a receipt or printout. You actually have a credit on your account. I said, so what does that mean? She says, well, you don't have to leave. You're good. You're good for probably the next 2 weeks. I said, girl, shut up. She says, okay. I'm just kidding. I mean, I was elated, honey. I went back to my room and I let out one of the biggest shouts that you have probably ever heard in your life. I knew she probably heard me, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just let her have her way." But I mean, I was just so overwhelmed with just
That's
joy and
incredible.
just everything. And that right there is my foundation of my company. Anytime I feel afraid, anytime I'm worried about taking a leap of faith, worried about if I have everything, worried about rejection, worried about saying no, I always go back to that point of the pillars of my company and how I got started. And if he brought me
Yeah.
from there, he will see me all the way home. He has not brought me this far to leave me, no matter what it may look like, no matter what it may feel like, while
Yeah,
I was trying to
what a
figure it out.
sign, also what a sign that you were on the right path, and, I love the fact that you were like, "Yeah, okay, so let's start a business," where people, really, like, think about this for years, you were like, "Okay, let's start a business." That's fantastic. And then there's no time to kinda talk yourself out of it, which is
Right,
amazing, right? So
right,
let's talk
right.
about how, well, first of all, I just wanna say, like, your story is incredibly inspiring, and I'm sure for those that are listening, and it really shows anybody listening that if there's something that you want and if you're
Yes,
determined enough, it's going to happen, right? So
yes,
keep the faith and keep walking forward. So thank you so much for sharing that.
absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about how you've managed to create success, moving forward from there. It hasn't been that long, and you've won all these awards. What have been some of your top marketing and sales strategies to build the business, to generate interest, to create growth? Like, how did you get it going?
Well, that is a great question. I'm glad that you asked that. First of all, Houston has the best entrepreneur ecosystem probably in the world. You will be amazed that my whole business that I started, I don't have any student loans, any bank loans, anything like that. It was all from funding and grants from the different free entrepreneur programs that the wonderful city of Houston has to offer through different organizations and community college. And that's how I got the funds to start my business, being involved with different business pitches, different business cohorts. And so if you want to start a business, or you looking for entrepreneur support, I am known as Houston's business ambassador. Houston is the place to be if you want to start a business. So that's really
Wow.
what most
I
of the
didn't know
credit comes from.
that.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
incredible
yes.
that they support entrepreneurs that way.
Oh,
That's
yes.
fantastic. And so,
Mhm.
what so since then, just marketing and sales strategies, what do you do on a regular basis, for Emeniss to get that visibility and
Well,
to get new accounts?
I have a lot of support again, like I say, and I am involved with so many different organizations. But it goes back to how they say people buy from people they like and trust,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
I build relationships with people.
love it.
I'm a part of networks. I give back and I serve. So when I go, I'm looking to how I can serve rather than what I can get back, and I think that that's where a lot of it comes from. I don't know everything, and I'm happy to say I don't know. And I'm always a sponge, willing to learn, going through different cohorts that's offered through like the University of Houston for free. You don't even have to be a student. We have Houston Community College that offer programs. Just recently, like last week, we have our annual Houston Community College business plan competition where they give out $12,000, $8,000, $5,000 for free just to pitch your business for like 10 minutes. And then before you even pitch, you go through a series of weekly cohorts to teach you how to pitch to win the competition. So that is where all of my support comes from. Anytime that I have a question about something on my tax or a marketing idea, I can always go back to my alumni or my mentors. They're always there, and we're always helping each other, networking and going and being together. And then, of course, amazing organizations like WeBank. And here in
Yes.
Houston, we are WBEA. Dr. April Day is absolutely amazing.
Yes, she
I
is. I love April. She's incredible. I've actually come to Houston, and April invited me there to speak twice actually. So I love her and her whole entity that she has going there for her RPO in
yes,
WeBank.
yes,
So yeah, I mean relationships really
yes.
are the crux. That's really for you been your magic, putting yourself out there. And I think that that's um, it's good to note that because I think a lot of business owners are sitting behind their computer and they're waiting for things to happen and they don't feel that they have time to get out and build the relationships. But that's really what's going to help bring in the business.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it perfectly because here's the thing, and this is what I love to share with people. It is never the right time. Life happens. You have to build and fight at the same time. And what I always tell people, what I love to say is that I don't tell people to do something that I have not done or that I would not do myself. If I'm telling you that you can do it, you can do it. I was in a motel room. How do you have a call center in a motel room? There's no phone here. There's like, you don't even really have no internet. What are you doing? You don't even have the money. So if you're waiting till you save money, if you're waiting to get a divorce, if you're waiting till the kids go off to college, if you're taking care, an aging parent, it is never going to be the right time. You have to go and fight. And of course, you take a break when you need it, but it's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be the perfect time. Life happens. And I am speaking from experience.
Yes, you
So
are.
just
Wow.
just
So
go.
yeah, listen to Arneisha because like she is you are speaking the truth. So
Yeah.
now we can make a lot of mistakes in business, and I'm sure you've had some. I've had many, and it helps us to learn and make better decisions. Can you share maybe since you started your business any of those mistakes that ended up helping you grow or to a bigger picture in your business journey?
Yes. The mistake that I have made before, and I'm gonna just be so vulnerable and transparent, is and that I continue to make, is and I hope many of you can relate to this, is struggling or challenges with the imposter syndrome.
Mm,
So someone will give me something or ask me to do something, and then I feel like I have to prove to them that I can do it, but I'm not ready to do it. So for example, I got awarded this great contract in this project, and um, I spend so much time trying to convince them that I can do it that I wasn't actually doing the work itself. And then they had to stop and tell me, Arneisha, yes, we know you can do it. That's why we hired you to do it. It is okay. Like we trust you to do it. That's what it's for. Even last year when I got my 2022 Most Admired CEO award, I didn't feel like I had gotten the award. I saw it more so of, okay, Arneisha, this is what we want you to do. So sometimes it caused me to be a little perfectionist, and I don't get things done because I want it to be so perfect, because I'm thinking that you're giving me this because this is what you want me to do rather than I have earned this. So that has been a
wow.
big challenge for me. I still struggle with that. Dr. Day, she always pop me on the hand and say, don't do that. so,
All right.
so
Well, you're
yeah,
gonna have
that's a
to
big one
send
for
her the
me.
recording of this podcast. But first of all, thank you for sharing that because a lot of business owners struggle with that. A lot. I
Yeah.
mean, even business owners that are making tens of millions of dollars or more every single year have that. And the fact that you've kind of pushed through beyond that, and but you are such a not you're not a survivor, you're a winner, you're a thriver. And so sometimes people see things in us that we don't see in ourselves, right? So there's a lot of
Right.
people that see the superstar in you. Uh,
I'm a vessel. I'm a servant. That's what I call. I'm a vessel and I'm a servant. That's what I call myself.
yeah, that's that is beautiful. I'm sure people would say that about you that know you. Now, one of the biggest challenges business owners struggle with is finding the right people for the team and then keeping them on board over the long term. What have been some of your strategies or lessons, even regarding attracting and retaining employees?
That's a great question. Well, one of my the company's motto is actually to create career opportunities in underserved communities. Now, you would think that the motto would be, oh, to bring the world class customer service and all of that good stuff, and no. And so that the business model, I'm sorry, the business motto that came from providing career opportunities in underserved communities is that what I do as a leader and as a CEO is I meet people where they are and I let them be themselves and I let them tell me what their strengths are. And then I'll say, so what would you like to do? What would you think is a good fit for you? So one thing that I really try my best to refrain from is certain titles. You're this or you're the office manager. That I say, what do you see yourself as? What do you like to do? What are your strengths? And then I put that into the business rather than dropping the business into them. So when we interview our team, I actually let them know, hey, I work for you because I need you. You are on the front lines. Without you providing customer service, I don't have a job. So I need to make sure that you're happy. Yeah, I want the customer to be happy, but I'm not going to have no customer if my employers are not happy. So that's my team is first and foremost always in
Wow,
the
that is
customer
a
can be right,
really
but
unique strategy.
that's how we do it. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
unique. I love that. So you really are customizing the position in a sense
Yes.
to fit the person and vice versa. And so
Yes.
they are always operating towards their strengths.
Absolutely, and that's the way we work. And then also another thing too, what we do here, even as far as like attendance. So we really don't have, you take off attendance. This, if you need some time off, we have a like, just let us know. Hey, I need some time off. We don't care if it was a death in family. We don't care if you're going through something, because what's important to you may not be important to me. I did not like when I was in corporate America where I could not have a bereavement day if it was my cousin. It had to be my mother, my sister, or my brother. And I'm like, but I grew up with my cousin. My cousin is like my sister or my brother. Like, you can't tell me what's important to me. If I have a dog and my dog unfortunately passed away, you cannot tell me, oh, you don't need that grieving day. It's just a dog. So that's another thing too. I remember when I worked in corporate America, I used to always say, man, if I ran this company, I would do this, I would do that. That's not right. That's not right. And it's so easy for me to do that because I can relate. Like, I didn't inherit this company. I literally built it from the ground up. So I've been at the entry level as a customer service representative all the way up to CEO. I didn't just apply and I'm at CEO, and I don't understand that life happens. Maybe you're having some family problems and you're like, look, I just need to take tomorrow off. It's like, hey, if we got the team covered, don't worry, don't find you get yourself together, because I want you to be able to be happy and healthy. Your well-being is most important to me. It does not matter why you need to take off. If it's important
Yeah.
to you, it is important to me. Go ahead, just take care of yourself.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? We do the same thing. We do the same thing. Yeah, and also yeah, like I don't need to know because I respect the team so much, so I know they're not going to take advantage of it. And I
Right,
also don't track hours either. I just want to
right,
know that they're getting whatever it is done. Now it's probably different for a call
absolutely.
center because you need people to be on there at certain times. But
Mhm.
um, anyway, I really love that. So
Yeah. And even the cost, it's not that big of a deal, because the thing about it is with our service level agreement, one day is not going to hurt. So it's about an
Yeah.
average. So if one employee want to take 8 hours off and we get backed up, look, that is not going to just make us go down the whole average for our monthly service level agreement. It is okay. Like, just breathe and relax, come back to work happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And my team, they really, really love that, because they don't have to be dishonest if they want to go to Hawaii. They don't have to say, oh, I'm going to my grandmother's funeral.
Yeah.
But you're on Facebook and I
When
see
you
you
see him
in
on
the
Facebook,
Bahamas.
yeah, I know what you're talking
I see
about.
you in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
If you go to the
Well,
Bahamas, just
if you think about it, Arneisha, because the company you worked for when you were back in 2015, everyone said they hated it. And so now you've done the opposite. You have a great culture, and maybe that was some of the motivation because you know what the opposite is like. Um, so now in my company, Pinnacle Global Network, we mentor business owners and we focus a lot on scaling strategies, which means a one to many strategy. Like, how do we reach
Mhm.
a lot of people with the same amount of effort? So, do you have any plans to maybe open up, like your big picture vision plans? Any plans to open other call centers or maybe target different markets or regions? Have you thought about those things?
Yes, absolutely. So last year, I did meet with some teams that was from Nigeria. So I'm hoping that we can work out something and perhaps I would like a call center in Nigeria and in the Bahamas as well too. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
great. So expanding, I think
yes.
that it's important, and the reason I bring that up is that a lot of times the business owner gets buried in the day to day when really your role as your business grows, not so much in the startup phase, but as your business grows, you want to be focused on the vision, like where you're going, right?
Right.
And so I love that. Now, business owners often feel pulled in a lot of directions,
Yes.
and it's hard for them to experience the great traction that they're working so hard for.
Right.
What do you feel for you as the CEO and the founder? What do you feel is the most important use of your time in your business?
I would say that the most important use of my time is just being aware of change, because change happens so fast, and that is very important. I think being aware of change, and I would also say time management. You have to be laser focused, and it's so easy to get distracted. And as a CEO, I want to have an open door policy, and I don't want anyone to feel like it's hard to get to me and it's hard to reach me. But then at the same time, it has to be a respectable amount of time and an understanding of, I'm going out there to bring in more work. And so I would have to say, yeah, time management. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? That becomes such a priority because, like you said, you can really throw away time so fast if you're not organized around it. I live by my calendar, but I time block. Like if I have
Yes.
projects I need to work on, like we just had an event. So I had several time blocks for the last month to help me to prepare. So I think being really intentional, just being on social media, you can throw away,
Yes.
30 minutes watching cat videos or something like
Yes.
that.
Yes. And with that time, with the time management, that also comes into play about balance as well. You have to create balance. You cannot neglect your personal care for your business or neglect your family. You have to create that balance. And even though it may be hard, you have to stick with it. If this is family time, this is family time. If it's not the end of the world, that business call, that email, I'm sorry, it's just gonna have to wait. With the balance, you have to create the balance and the boundaries. Balance and boundaries.
Balance and boundaries, the two B's. and
Yeah.
take care of, yeah, because business owners can really, uh, they can really suffer in their health and
Yes.
in their relationships because they're taking care of everybody else but
Right.
themselves.
And
So,
that's not good because I had to learn it the hard way. The first law of nature is self perseverance. So it's not you being selfish, it is the first law of nature to take care of yourself.
yeah,
When you're
that
on
is,
the flight, they say you got to put your own mask on before you
yes,
put
you
your
do. Yes,
neighbor's
you
mask
do.
on.
That's a great reminder. Now you give back. You're involved in a lot of different causes, especially around homelessness. Can you speak with us on the importance of utilizing your business platform to
Yes.
support organizations or causes or communities to make an impact?
Absolutely. First of all, I support from a place because I was there. I was in that situation. In fact, all of the organizations that has helped me in any kind of way, I serve in some type of capacity with Harris County Social Services, with Hope Haven. I'm still on their board because they helped me get into my first place coming from the motel. Even as I go through cohorts with the entrepreneur systems and different programs, for example, University of Houston SURE program, that's one of our entrepreneur programs. I was in that cohort and now I serve on their leadership, you know, reaching back as, as I move forward. I think that's very, very important. And then most of all, and this is what I love to share about with people, even as far as the homeless situation. We are all, everybody, we are all one moment away from being homeless. You never know. It can happen by a natural disaster. It can happen, unfortunately, with a death in the family. You never know if you're going to be in that situation. And so just being
Yeah,
aware of that and just being grateful for that, that's what allowed me to serve. But even if it's not
yeah,
homeless, it could just be in some other capacity. If you've had like a health issue that you've overcome, please share your story to encourage and inspire those that are going through that, because you don't know if you're going to have to go through that treatment again or that experience again. And so I believe that that is the highest form of gratitude. You can say thank you, but when your actions say it, that's when it's literally speechless. You don't have to say nothing.
yeah. Wow, that is so beautiful and so so true. I would, in our event I just led, we were talking about that and giving, and I really believe giving is the secret of happiness.
Absolutely, of course.
When you
Of
give
course.
and, without looking to get anything in return, when you just give of yourself, that's so fulfilling. It's so incredibly fulfilling.
It really is, and I love to share my faith because that's my foundation, and I can't stay away from it. But the Bible tells us that God loves a cheerful giver. And here's the thing, the way that I see it, the reason why I am a cheerful giver, because that means I have it to give. At one point, I didn't have it to give. That's how you know that you are wealthy. And I'm not saying wealthy as far as money. I'm saying like I have enough to give. I have time that I can give. I have service that I can give. I have knowledge and resources and inspiration that I can give. Because one time I felt hopeless. I can't inspire you. I can't even inspire myself. But now I have that. And that's how you know that you are truly blessed, when you are able to give. If you can give it, that means you got it. That's what I
Yes.
say.
Yeah. It's true. It is so true. Thank you for that. And speaking of giving and being part of, you were given the award of the WeBank Star for 2023, which is such an honor, of your achievement and your hard work. I mean, wow. So, how has your time being part of WeBank helped you shape to the powerful business, women business owner that you are today?
Oh my goodness. So when I joined WeBank, I didn't know anything about business. I just heard it was this organization that helps support women business owners. And so I jumped in. And I'm so glad that I did, because when I came into the business, I felt very, very intimidated. everywhere I went. Anytime I went to a conference or networking event, because I was the only one in the room that didn't have any degrees, didn't have any business experience. I wasn't a part of any sorority or anything like that. I was learning and growing and developing all of that at the same time. But when I got with the WBA, they just took me under their wings and they supported me. I've been a part of every one of the cohorts, the Edge program, Ignite, and I've really, really taken advantage of those resources and that support system. And also the other part of that too, what I always love to say, my favorite verse, Proverbs 27:17, is iron sharpens iron. So not only am I going to get some, I'm like, oh, by the way, I found out this. And so I'm sharing my information, they're sharing their information. And that's how we are really, really building this thing. We built this. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's the momentum that gets you going.
Yeah,
You're
well,
not
that's
doing
our
this by
theme
yourself.
is momentum this year, and that,
Exactly.
you're
You're not doing
introduced.
this alone. You're not doing this by yourself. Not at all.
Oh my gosh. Thank you
Not
for
at
that
all.
reminder. This has been so amazing. So, first of all, tell our listeners how they can reach you or learn about your company. What's the best way, Arneisha?
Oh, thank you so much. So I am on all social media platforms with the same name, Arneisha Sadler. I know this sounds funny, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. If you go to LinkedIn, it's going to say Arneisha Sadler with the same profile picture. If you go to Facebook, it's going to say Arneisha Sadler with the same profile picture. There have been times where I have looked for somebody on Instagram and it was a different profile picture and their name was 1023 Hot Mama. And I said, I don't know who 1023 Hot Mama is. But if you go to my Instagram, it's the same thing, Arneisha Sadler. So if you go anywhere and put Arneisha Sadler, you'll be able to find me. Also, of course, you can go on our website, Emeniss.com, and you can give us a call. And guess what the number is? 188. You guessed it, Emeniss. You can't forget the number, 1888 Emeniss. So
Awesome. And that is spelled Emeniss. So if
exactly what
anybody's
she said.
interested, and any last words of advice, Arneisha, for our listeners today?
Yes. My last word of advice is go for it. Start now. Never, ever, ever give up. You have everything that you need to start right now. I love to tell people this. If if you don't have any money, then you don't need any money. A lot of the number one thing I always hear is, I don't have any money to start a business. I don't have If you don't have the money, then you don't need the money. Because God is sufficient. He supplies all your needs. You probably think that you need something, but you really don't. If somebody say, well, if you ask somebody out the blue, hey, what's the first thing you think that you'll need to start a call center? You probably need a telephone. I didn't even have a telephone, and I started a call center. If I would have waited till I got a telephone, I probably would never start. Start where you are right now and just build on it every day, every day. And when you look back, you're going to be so amazed at how far you have come. The other thing that I want to share with you is document it. Seriously, time go by so fast. Take pictures, take videos of your journey. You if you got like a little boring logo, keep that, and you're going to see yourself grow and develop, just like all the other corporations, just like the Fortune 500s. They had to start somewhere. It started with one person with an idea, and they shared it, and they grew and they grew. Document your journey, because you're going to be so amazed at how far you've come, and it's going to definitely encourage you. You're going to say, oh, I remember when I was riding in that little car. Oh, I remember I had that little wire and that old thing. And it's going to encourage you on those times when the imposter syndrome try to creep in and you feel like you don't have enough or you're not good enough. You have whatever you need right now. Today, take care of
Yeah,
itself. Worry
I
about
love
today.
that.
Tomorrow is tomorrow. Whatever you need for December 2023, it's already there for 2023. If you need something for January 2025, it's already there. I need you to take care of today, June, and then what you need for tomorrow, it'll be there. And last but not least, I always tell people the phrase I coined myself through my own experience is to be great without permission, apologies, or explanation. And I say that because be great without permission. That means when I wanted to do that 300, I didn't call my family and friends because I knew they would say, Arneisha, you're crazy. Don't spend that 300.
Yeah.
But I decided to be great without anybody's permission, without an apology. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't go do this, but I have to do this. I have to follow my dreams. Mom, I know you want me to go to school to be a doctor, but I want to start this hair salon. Do it without apologies or explanations. Don't explain to somebody why you have that passion burning inside you. It could be your gift, it could be your purpose. And people do not have to you don't have to explain that to people. And always follow your purpose and your passion. When you follow your purpose and your passion, it will never feel like work. The money and the opportunities will chase you down. The favor of God will chase you down. You will be before great men. Your gift will make room for you. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. If you say you believe in God, and if God lives and dwells on the inside of you, that means you have to believe in yourself, because that's where He is. He's not all out there in the sky and the clouds. He lives and operates on the inside of you. The world is waiting for you. Stop looking on Google. You're not going to find it because it's in your head. When I was on Google looking for a job, I'm like, I want a job at a call center. Girl, look within yourself. The call center is in you. It's not on Google. That's why you can't find it. There you go.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. You need to be out there
I didn't mean to go
speaking.
off on y'all.
You need to be out there
I
on the world circuit speaking, Arneisha.
I
So
didn't mean to go off
so
like I'm little
important.
mama or something. That was just my little mama taking over.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's so important to go and remember the core of where we started. You know, I was a single mom for many years, starting with nothing. My daughter was little. I remember picking her up from school one day, and she opens the door, and the whole thing fell off. I had bought the car for $300, so I totally get it, and I think that is really a beautiful thing to have those moments when you're going through difficult times. Just remember the challenges you've been through and what you've been able to overcome. So you are such an example of that, Arneisha. Thank you so much for being on Women Who Own It.
Yes. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you.
Have an amazing day, amazing week, and amazing life. The world is waiting for you.
Yes, and so if you enjoyed this show, which I don't know how you wouldn't, it's been so incredible with Arneisha Sadler. So thank you so much, Arneisha, for being here.
Thank
If
you
you
for
want
having
to
me.
learn more about scaling your company, I'm just going to send you a gift, which is my Wall Street Journal best-selling book, Scale or Fail, which has been endorsed by Barbara Corcoran and Damon John of Shark Tank. We will send you the hardback copy. All you need to do is go to scaleorfail.com/WBENC, and we will send it to you as my gift. So please share this podcast with people that you care about. And until next time, make decisions from where you're going, not from where you're at. Bye, everybody.
Bye.